Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're doing good this evening. Well, today I'm going to be harvesting my Yukon Gold potatoes. And so what I'd like to show you today is the good and maybe the bad on the hay method when you plant your potatoes. I'm going to show you a little bit on how to harvest them and kind of save on damage, and then what I do when I store them. And then I would really like to talk about the Yukon Gold potato and tell you a few things about it, because this is going to help you decide maybe whether you want to plant them next year or not. Now, if this is your first time watching this channel, or you've watched a few and you haven't subscribed, please consider doing it. I would appreciate it, and as always, it's free. Now, I've been out working in the yard. We're supposed to have a week of rain, and so I've been trying to get a lot of stuff done, and this is the last thing that I need to get done today. So let's go ahead and get started on this, because I really do need to get it done. Okay, so I just made a video telling everybody a really good tip on when to harvest their potatoes, where it will keep them from getting damaged. And so I'm going to leave a link to that in the description. But let's go ahead and look at these potatoes here. Now, I planted these using the hay method, and all I did was I put my seed potatoes down and I put hay over the top of them. And so let's pull that up. Okay, good deal. We got some potatoes. Now, I don't clean the dirt off of them, and the reason why is because I talk about it in that previous video, but I don't want to damage the skins on a Yukon Gold especially. So I would just leave that dirt right on there and let these dry out. Now, the good thing, I'm going to go ahead, that's a pretty big piece, so it'll come off. I just don't want to rub on that potato where I can damage that skin, because then it's not going to store as long. So the really good thing about planting them like this is it's easy to harvest them, and you know, it's just, I think, a lot easier and faster than hilling them. Now, these are actually some really decent potatoes. And what I'm worried about is you know, I got to harvest them before this ground gets real wet, because then you take a chance on them rotting. And I don't like leaving them in the ground for a real long time, because then mice, voles, things like that can get in there and start eating on them. So I kind of have that problem here. So I want to get them out pretty much as soon as I can. So we're going to go ahead and pick some more, and then we're going to talk about what I do, you know, to try and keep them from getting damaged, you know, after I get them out of the ground. So, and I did not plant a lot of Yukon Golds. Okay, so here is one of the problems with planting them under hay. I actually put hay on these twice, but the sun still got to them. And see, I can use that. I just got to cut the green off of them. So that's one thing that you really have to be careful of when you're planting them using the hay method. You just got to make sure, you know, you get more than enough hay on them. But this is, these actually are pretty decent Yukon Golds. See right there, that's damage, and you can see, I'll try and get this in focus a little better. Okay, so I think I've got it in focus. You can see the damage right there's the skin, and I wasn't being real forceful. I was trying to be gentle getting it out. this is why I did not want to have to harvest these right now, but with all that rain coming, I had to. So what I do after I got them out of the ground is I've got my wheelbarrow over here, and so I don't want to drop them. I don't want to, you know, throw them and hit each other. I'm going to really gently just set them on there, and I'm just try to keep from, you know, bruising them, hitting each other, because when you bruise them, then they're going to rot in whatever potato bin or whatever you're storing them in. Well, then the next one that's touching it, it's going to rot too. So you just really want to be careful while them skins are soft, you know. So I'm going to take mine, I'm going to put them on like a pallet and just let them air dry. Keep them out of the sun, somewhere dark, and after a few days, they should harden off. I still don't wash the dirt off of them though. I leave the dirt on them, and then when I go to, you know, clean one to eat, that's when I wash the dirt off. Now, let me go ahead and talk a little bit about Yukon Gold, because it is kind of a unique potato. Now, you have to realize you have waxy potatoes and you have starchy potatoes. And a waxy potato would be good for, you know, soups, potato salad, things like that, where you really want those potatoes to hold their shape. They're not real good for frying or baking, you know, things like that. A starchy potato is what that's good for. Fried potatoes, French fries, you know, mashed potatoes, things like that, because they have a lot more starch and they fluff up a lot better. Now, Yukon Gold basically falls in the middle of that, where it's kind of a mid-starch. So they can kind of be used for either one. They have a really nice yellow flesh to them, and I think they taste pretty decent. So that might be a reason why you might want to plant them next year. Now, another one is where I'm going to harvest these. It's kind of towards the end of July, and I might have enough time to plant another crop where I've harvested these. So you can kind of use that in a strategy if you're wanting to get in a fall crop. Now, for me and maybe some others, the downside is they do have a very thin skin, like you've seen. They damage easy. They don't store as long as, say, a russet Burbank. But because I'm out of potatoes, I'm going to use these quickly. But at this time of year, being as warm as it is, I don't really have a good place for long-term storage for them. So that's something to think about, because you are going to harvest these early. Well, let me know what you think. Let me know if you've tried them, if you haven't, and they are really just a good all-around potato. Well, that's the video, and I hope it helps, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you later. You have a good night. See ya.